I left off with will I continue to have kids? Well, I know you guys see there's a big age gap between my 11-year-old and the twins and the baby. Um, the older kids are a product of a 15-year marriage. So there are two different fathers. But the the way I feel about having children, children are a blessing to me. I have always had my reserves about getting my tubes tied, and I'm not completely sold on that, and mainly it's just my belief, and also the after effects that pop up years later that nobody really tells you about because nobody really thinks about it until you start to have all these problems later on, and then you go back and think, what has happened? How's my health been? And yada yada yada. My mother did tie hers in her 30s, and she started to go through really early menopause. I think she was about 33. I don't want to say I lost my mother she was 45. So really young. Wait, was she 45? Yeah, I think she was 45. So yeah, really young. And she told me she had a lot of issues and she suffered through that, and a lot of it was attributed to her tying her tubes. But she only had my brother and I, and I don't know, she just didn't want any more kids. It's my dad that has kids. Let's see. I have an older brother on my father's side, and then it's me, and then I have 4 more brothers. So that's why I have all girls, because my dad had all boys. Or not all girls, but mostly all girls. But I don't see the tubes tied happening thing. When I had my son, the doctor did pose it to me because they've all been cesareans, and it used to be after 3 you couldn't have anymore. They make you tie your tubes, and then it was 4, and I had the papers right there in the delivery room, and I went ahead and refused. I just said no. Something in my heart was just telling me don't do it, and it was mainly, society looks at you if you have X amount of children, especially these days, as just a baby factory, and you're looking out for the government to help support you, and that's just not the case. And some people just, like I said, their beliefs are different. So I really don't know. I think I'm kind of in my field with this one. I'm not saying I wouldn't welcome more, but I'm getting to a place in my life, like I said, I have kids leaving the house. So I'm kind of thinking maybe my life is kind of at a point where I'm getting ready to change. Getting ready to cross over to the next decade. I don't want to get into that, but yeah. So I don't know. I really honestly don't know. 1 more would be great. 2 more would be great. Yeah, I'm not going to put a number on it because really, honestly, I know there's going to be more. Let's see. Do the kids naturally help with the older kids, or do the older kids naturally help with the younger kids? Yes and no. They will play with them. They will watch them. One thing they do for me is they watch them when I go to the grocery store, because typically I don't take anybody with me, especially when I was just going once a month. Now I may take the baby and one older kid, and that way they can help me get um, things, and we can get out of the store faster. Or they'll do like the coupons if if I have my coupons out, they'll make sure that system is all set up and things like that. They don't. If I'm at work on the weekends, they will watch the kids, even though they complain about it, but they will watch them. They don't bathe them. They don't comb their hair. They don't dress them. My older one will change the baby's diapers. And she will feed her. She will spend a lot more time with the baby, I would say, than the other ones will. But other than that, they're kids. They don't want to be bothered and things like that until they want to be bothered. But they'll sit down and play with them. They'll watch movies with them, and of course the little kids love the big kids. And I'm not gonna say I didn't have a lot of jealousy. I did have quite a time with with the twins coming along and things like that, because they were used to being, the older kids were used to being it, and all my attention was on them. And then, like I said, with the divorce, that brought on a whole new issue and another person into their life. So that's been my major challenge, to be honest. I'm just being as real as I can. Blended family issue. And like I said before, that's why I have not told them about this one. But in the next couple of weeks, and everybody's together, then that's when I'll sit down and just let them know that, yes, this is what's going to happen and when. Because I think that somebody brought up, well, you didn't tell us about, I think this is Aaliyah, I didn't tell them about till I was in my third trimester. And I think the twins too, because it was so late by the time I found out I was actually expecting twins. Yeah, it was about July, and I had them in November. That wasn't my fault. Let's see. I already talked about, do I have a career? Yes, I'm a nurse. What did I do? How do I balance that? I work. All I know how to do is work. I used to work weekends. Before I was divorced, I used to be, quote unquote, a stay-at-home mom. And what I did with that, because I kept having kids, was I opened up child care in my home. And because my friends had kids that were not in school and they needed somebody to watch them. And that was part of my college career. I did a dual nursing and education. So I started out really young. So I got far really fast, even though I had kids and been married for X amount of years. I'm college educated. So and my ex-husband was in the IT field, so we were very blessed to start at the bottom and work into a very huge income. Let's keep it like that. So I didn't have to work outside my home, but I did that, and I typically kept from 5 kids to 9 kids, not including my own. And eventually we bought a house big enough that I could. It was set up to where upstairs was solely my house, and downstairs was my house, but also dedicated for daycare kids, and I didn't have to worry about if my kids needed to do their homework or they had needed time out or whatever. They were upstairs, and I didn't have to worry about kids being scattered and parents coming in saying, well, you can't see, Sarah, she's upstairs. No, they were down here where I could see them. So I did that for many years, and it really was not for money. It was just because I was there, and I saw a need in the area. Lots of working parents that needed child care, and I was available. I wasn't doing anything, and really all the money went back into the care of them. I would pick them up from school because even though it was pretty much the same neighborhood, there was two different schools, and my kids were pretty much close enough to walk. Or if it rained, I would pick up mine first, or somebody else would pick them up, and then I would go get the other kid. So, this battery's beeping. I did that for about 14 years, and also taught. I started out in elementary, but I went up to middle, went up to high school, as well as, like I said, doing the nursing. And after the divorce, I went nursing full time and also teaching. And so what I did was I did weekends. I would work 16-hour weekends. So by Sunday or Monday morning, my work week was over. So I had put in 32 hours. And then on Thursday night, I would do an overnight shift. And so I would be back. The kids could get up and get to school on their own. And I would come in right after they left. And I would have Friday off pretty much. Go to the grocery store or whatever. But then on Tuesday and Thursday, I also taught high school and middle school. So that's pretty much how I did it. Now it's just strictly nursing, and I work 7 days a week. Right now I'm working 10 to 4, Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 on the weekends. And it works pretty easy, and I'm a private nurse, so I have a lot of flexibility there. Not in the hospital right now, just because I have more flexibility. I work for one family, and that's actually where I'm at now. And they own a 20-acre pecan farm. So, yeah. And I need to probably cut this video, and I will come back because my battery is going to die. And I think the next question is, how many cloth diapers a day? Yes, do I use? And toilet paper. This was a question that somebody asked me on my Facebook this morning. And if you guys go back to the original Q&A video,